Hello and welcome back to Film Club, the club where we talk about films that we're recently watching, viewing and enjoying them. We know what you've been recently watching and enjoying, and if you've seen what I'm about to talk about, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. I wouldn't say that I was actually massively excited for Thunderbolts. I think after Captain America, The New Order or whatever it was called, Captain America 4, I was sort of starting to lose faith in Marvel, and so until Fantastic Four, which I'm genuinely really excited about, I relatively lost interest. But when I started seeing the hype online for Thunderbolts and just people saying it was just a genuinely good film, I thought I'm going to have to give this a go. And I've got to say, I was pleasantly surprised. This was a really solid film. Was it as good as people are saying it? No. I don't think it's the best film that we've had from Marvel since Endgame. But it's a step in the right direction. It's a step back into form for Marvel. It's a step in the right direction in terms of just decent character writing, an ability to write dialogue that isn't like it's been written by AI. It's 100%, like I say, a step in the right direction for Marvel. If they can carry on this quality, then I think Marvel will be back to a very decent place. Now, I'm not saying that this film was perfect by any means. To be honest, my biggest gripe with this film comes from the state of the MCU. Initially, when people have been talking about a universe reboot, I've been a little bit put off by that. I don't want a full universe reboot. I still want to keep the characters that I know and love and the actors who play those characters that I know and love. But after this film, I think it's really needed. I think a full universe reboot will do it so much good. Like, this film, while I loved it and I thought it was such a fun, brilliant little film, it felt like it was constantly dealing with all of its predecessors. It felt like, you know, aside from the stuff that it actually needed, like Yelena's backstory, Bucky's backstory, and things like that, it felt like the world was like dealing with all these little things that have come from films before, whether it be a post-credit scene or something someone said or a time frame that they're in. Whatever it is, a full universe reboot would, I honestly think, revitalise the MCU in such a fantastic way. As long as we can keep some actors, because I don't want to say bye to people like Tom Holland's Spider-Man, or that's the main one I can think of, but I don't want to say goodbye to these characters. And so I think a soft reboot would be really great, where we can start fresh and we can actually build a proper story. This is what sort of pre-Endgame Marvel had. It had form. It had all the films felt like they could stand on their own feet while also interconnecting in tiny details. Whereas now it feels like you're watching part of a TV series. You're watching an episode of the MCU. That's what it feels like at the minute, because we've gone so deep down the rabbit hole. That's probably my only negative about this film. Aside from that, this is just a fun superhero adventure film, like Century. Oh my god. I will preface this and say I don't know much about the character of Century. I've never read the comics. I don't know much about the character. I'd never really heard the name before this. So I don't know if the suit was accurate. I thought it was a little bit goofy, but it kind of fit the aesthetic of the film. But oh my god, that might have been my favourite scene of the whole film, when it was the Thunderbolts against Century, like just showing off his power level and the scale. Like, oh my god. And the way they did it as well, like, it wasn't overly CGI, and it was just that fight sequence. I wanted more of that. I think if I'd have got maybe like a couple more scenes with Century, I would have maybe even some backstory. I feel like we didn't get much of, like, we had snippets of his backstory, but I'd like to know, like, how these powers came to be, rather than it just being he was tested on and he was the only one that survived. I want to know how you make a super being like that. But he's clearly a sort of cheat card for Marvel now. I think whatever they get thrown at, the issue is how many powerful beings are there in like this in the MCU now? Like, we've got Century, we've got Wanda if she's still alive, we've got I can't even remember her name, but the Emily Clark's character from the end of Secret Invasion. just the power scale is shifting. It's gone so high. But I love the dynamic that Sentry is in the Thunderbolts, or spoiler alert, the New Avengers, because the rest of them are relatively normal beings. Like, apart from the super serum in two of the members, apart from that, they don't have a whole lot to offer. So having an absolutely OP scapegoat with Sentry, I think is going to be absolutely brilliant. I don't know how to feel about the whole New Avengers thing. I think it is interesting. I thought that post-credit was one of the best post-credits we've got in a long time. Sometimes you hang around till the end and you get left with nothing, or you get left with a little bit of comedy, but we had so much in that, from the new suits, the new set that they're in, the fact that we had a reference to Fantastic Four entering their universe, the fact that we had references to Sam Wilson and how he's like battling for the rights of the name Avengers. It's so cool, and that honestly, that was one of the best post credits we've seen in a long time. But yeah, the New Avengers title, they will never be the OG Avengers, of course. But I quite like them. I quite like the shift of the fact that Avengers aren't like a god threat level set of people. Like, they're not supposed to have Thor on them. They're like, while they might have done it in the comics, the way I see it is you've got Avengers who are sort of Earth level threats, or to a certain degree Earth level threats. They can still deal with big threats, but it is more on a smaller scale. And I think that's what these ragtag superheroes are. So I really liked that. I loved the developments with Yelena. I thought it was a really nice round off for her character. I'm interested to see what she is like moving into Doomsday and things like that, and the part that they all play. I think Bucky has had a really, really cool redemption arc in this film. Like, seeing him go from, even his theme song is so good, but even his theme song changing from sort of the villainous Winter Soldier to now this like sort of heroic figure that Bucky Barnes, it's so good. I think what they've done for all the characters is really good. This is, like I say, a really solid Marvel film. While it's not the best, it's not my absolute favourite, it's not perfection, it was just a fun return to form, and it's a step in the right direction that we've not had in a while. I am so excited for Fantastic Four. I can't wait to see what we get with that. But yeah, Thunderbolts or New Avengers, whichever one you want to call it, was really good. But anyway, let me know, what did you think of Thunderbolts if you have seen it, and I will see you next time on the Film Club.